right, guys, welcome back. I'll tell you what, I'm joined now by another group of guys also that you will all recognize. I've been very involved with the show now, one of them for over 21 years, all the way since day one, Dayton. You've been doing it, man. You've done a lot of these shows, and man, I can't tell you what it means to have you around and do things with you, you know, all the time. We're constantly out hunting or fishing or doing something, man, and you've done this a long time.
I've been doing it a long time.
You've done it a long time.
I've probably got 35 years in now, not counting this show,
Yeah.
but me and Hugh and us just hit it off day one we met, so it's just been a great deal. And, you know, I sure miss him a lot.
Yeah, well, we all do.
I know. But,
we all do.
You know, that's where it's, you know, I've done quite a bit before then, but we really got in good.
We've really taken off.
A long way,
so
so we've come a long way.
We have. Looking back through this past year, I mean, what is it that stands out to you probably the most?
Man, just the filming we're getting, all the filming that's happening.
Yeah. So there's been some weekends now
And
we got 5 or 6 cameras
Shooting
out there.
Straight's one of the best
What a
parts
great
of the show.
addition to
I'm
the
telling you,
show.
that's one of the best parts of the show.
It is.
It helps out, tremendous for the kids and stuff. It's just great. But, you know, we're educational. We want to teach
Yeah.
people what we're doing and show them what's going on physically. It ain't about what we're doing.
That's
we want
exactly
to teach
right.
everybody everything we can.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's not you and I in the films all the
Sure.
time. You know, we air a lot more footage from these guys and other guys around the state
Right.
than we do ourselves out doing things because that is the focus. It is not about us. It is about the state of Tennessee and the outdoors and our love and passion for it. And we just try to share it, and that's really worked out. I will mention this. One of the things that definitely stands out to me that you and I have done this year are a couple of wonderful trips that we've had with Daniel Brown.
Oh man, it's unbelievable.
Man, and one day we took Dad out.
That's one of the best
when
shows
we took Dad
ever.
out with Daniel, I think it's one of the best shows.
That's
we
what I
ever
was going to say. I told Robin this morning, it's one of the best.
constant all day long. You know, rod slapping the side of the boat. I'm not talking about. I mean, rod slapping the side of the boat fish.
Not like
all day long.
Not like the fishing trips
Now,
that
look,
we go
won't
on.
get into our fishing trips.
All right.
Tim.
Did you see
I
that
can't-
Monday? Did I tell you we
Yeah,
went?
yeah. I
Oh,
heard,
okay,
heard
yeah.
y'all snuck a trip in there on me Monday.
We
What
pulled
I
up on
tell
the
you?
spot and he dropped the live scope in, and it was just solid with fish, the whole live scope. You mean you couldn't even see your spoon going down?
Y'all using
Because
those
it
big
didn't make,
spoons,
it didn't
weren't you?
make it down.
They're using no spoon.
Yeah.
Roger McMullen down here on the end. Obviously, you guys all know who he is by this point. And Roger, you're newer around here, but you jumped right into things with us. It's been about a year now. Doesn't seem like it, but you have filmed a lot of shows with us this year too, and we've had a lot of good times together. Is there anything particular stands out to you about this past year?
The fishing trip that we went with Mr. Randall, that was my favorite.
Man, we floated that river all day long.
All day.
We started out trying to put in a couple places. We actually turned out we couldn't put the boat in.
Right.
Just another thing, guys, and we're no different than everybody else. We tried all morning to get the kayaks in the water and finally put in about 4 miles from where we wanted to be. So we kind of made a quick trip up through those 4 miles and then got to where we wanted to fish. And that last little bit, we virtually spent 8 hours to film a show in about 45 minutes.
Right,
And that's
right.
just how it works sometimes.
And that's just how it is.
That's just how it works.
Sometimes it takes 8 days to film a show.
Sometimes it takes 8 days. That's right. You know, that's one thing. This past week, I was fortunate enough to take a really nice buck. And you know, if we wanted to, we could make it look like I just went out there and sat down here and come that buck. But truth is, it took 5 days of seeing that deer and filming that deer and waiting on that deer and being patient before it finally all.
And that's what's good about our show. It's real. I mean, it's real.
And that's what we show, and you're going to see that. You're going to see that in the show leading up to it. And you might even see a swing and a miss thrown in there somewhere,
Right,
you know,
right.
because it happens.
Right.
And it happens to everybody. I don't care who they are or how long they've been doing this. It happens. It's just a difference. So we're going to show you because, you know, we're the same as everybody sitting up
That's
there
right.
watching the show every week.
That's exactly right. That's what I love about it.
Tim, with your segment, and Roger and Dayton have both mentioned this already, but Shooting Straight has been such a huge addition to Southern Wood and Waters.
Well, I'm thankful to be part of it.
When you have your internet issues, which happens a lot, I keep telling them one of these days I'm going to go open the internet company. in West Tennessee.
You can make a killing where I live if you could get good internet.
You know, those weeks when that happens and we're not able to have a new one, people call. I mean, where's Tim at? Where's Pastor Tim? You know, you can see Shooting Straight. So then we started running reruns.
Right.
You know, just to make sure we had one for them to run. But that has just been such a huge addition to the show. But not only that, you've done a lot of shows with us too.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite things, the Hope Outdoors hunts, you helped get me involved in that. And of all the things that I have ever done, I don't know that any has ever been more rewarding than the hunt I had with Austin Stokes. And I took him out, and we got him a 8-point buck, which you would have just thought was a boon and
A monster,
200-inch deer, and a doe, and it was just, it touched me in a way that I never expected before.
It changes you. Those hunts change you. It really does.
It changes you. Now we've had some fishing trips. I don't want you telling everybody about my secret fishing holes or anything.
Yeah, I was going to, if you was going to ask me what my favorite show was, I was going to talk about our fishing trip, but we've never caught any fish when we've gone out together, so I couldn't talk about that.
There was the fish were on strike.
Right.
When we went out that one time, it's kind of odd. That's how it works sometimes. You guys know that's how it works at home too.
There again, it's real.
It's real. And we had been out and we had been catching crappie and we had been catching sauger, and Richard and I had been out and filmed a show, and hey Tim, come down here, we're gonna catch some crappie and sauger. And I'm telling you, you would have thought there wasn't a fish in Middle Tennessee when he came down here. But that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. It doesn't always pan out. I think we still made a show out of that. Just talking to, we made a couple shooting straights out there and did some stuff. But it just doesn't always pan out. Sometimes it's about the times together and things like that. Now, you and Garrett always come down for a dove shoot. That's always a big time.
It's always fun. It's always fun.
A big time. Now, I think he did a little more shooting than he did hitting this past year.
Yeah. It was kind of like what you said earlier. I think he could put all his doves in the empty boxes that he had.
Well,
25 shots for one bird. That's kind of our ratio.
When we got to the end of that day, I just remember had everybody at the truck, and we were standing there talking, at the end of the deal, and I said, now, everybody standing around here that got a limit today, I want y'all to raise your hand. And I don't think a hand went up anywhere around there, and I said, no. Everybody standing here that shot at a limit of dust today, raise your hand. I believe about everybody that shot at a limit.
Yeah, so, he went through a couple of boxes that day.
We're good for the ammunition companies anyway.
Absolutely.
Season, that's for sure. But had a lot of great times doing that. And again, looking forward to another Hope Outdoors hunt coming up.
Won't be long.
Here in just a few weeks. And it's going to be something that I'm looking forward to every year. Always. We did the turkey hunt earlier this year too. And the turkey hunt was just as much a blessing as the deer hunt.
It is.
That's just something that I'm so glad you got us involved with and got us going in. But just to reach back to it just one more time, the From the Blind and your ministry and adding the Shooting Straight segment with us, I think has probably been one of the #1 top motives that we have.
Well, I'm honored to be able to be part. I know earlier Randall said that one of his favorite things just being together. Right. This is December's my 2-year anniversary being on the show. And I agree with Randall. The best thing is just being together. We've been family,
It is. Just doing our
whether we catch fish or whether we shoot doves or not, we're together.
Yeah, we're together.
I still owe Deacon though.
Now, all right. So what?
I owe Deacon still.
Dayton had he's always got something funny going on too. We always give Dayton and Bubba both a hard time because they're kind of the comedic relief around here a lot of times. And Dayton, what you're referring to is you guys went out. You do a lot with your kids too. You constantly got Deacon and Daisy out fishing and doing things like that. But you guys were going out and y'all had done a show for us on shellcracker fishing in Old Hickory Lake. Great show. Caught all kinds of fish. But Deacon set you up that day.
For the kill.
He set you up for the kill. I tell you what, your own son set you up. And Richard, of all things, he filmed it.
Then took and let you have it. I told Richard, I said, hey, look, just go back and just film something else just right over the top of it. He said, I did.
Yeah, well,
he did not.
He did not.
Right.
He ended up making it right to the show.
Right,
just like I say, those things like that. It's funny to everybody else, even if it isn't to you at the time. We kind of got a kick out of it.
Sure
I think Daisy still watches that video about 5 or 6 times a week. She keeps it on her phone so she can pull it out at any given time. To see.
I'm lucky that my wife lets me do that, but I'm lucky to have good kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, they love to go. And that's what it's about, because that's our future.
Absolutely.
That's your next ammunition buyer, that's your next license purchase, that's your next food plot stuff, tree stands, whatever's going to be is those. And without that, we ain't going to have anything.
We've got to have the kids involved, and that is what we've really tried to focus on in the last couple of years.
And you brought this up where T-Dot's going to come on with us this year.
Yep.
And man, I'm telling y'all, the trash at our lakes is unbelievable.
It
It's
is.
unbelievable.
It's gotten out of control. And we're
Major.
going to be working with TDOT side by side, doing some things with them that is going to address the litter rather on the roadways and
Right.
things like that. And people say, well, what's TDOT got to do with the lakes?
Every bit of it.
Every bit of it.
Every bit
You know,
of it.
when that trash is up and down the highways and the roadways and the ditches, where do you think it goes?
The wind blows it or the rain puts it right in the lake. So,
That's right.
and plastic bottles do not go anywhere. So when I go over here plug hunting at Priest, I went the other day. There's bottles that's been there for 20 years with brand new brand new bottles on them.
Yeah.
You can look for hundreds of yards
And
through
it's
the
just full
woods
of it.
and you cannot pick it all up.
Sad situation.
We're in bad
It
shape.
is. It is. But that is something we're going to be addressing
Yes, that's-
in this coming year, and we're really looking forward to getting that
Yeah.
going. Roger, you do a little more traveling than the rest of us. You travel around and hunt a lot. And you've gotten some great shows for us. But one I want to mention just real fast as we close out this segment is you and Mountain Man went antelope hunting in New Mexico.
Oh,
Made an
Mountain
excellent show.
Man.
Made an
Hey.
excellent show. But I know that you guys really had a big time on that
We did.
one.
We
We
had a
enjoyed
big time.
sharing
It
it
was
with
fun.
everybody. We don't get out of the state of Tennessee very often. That's not something we do a lot. But we do, and when we do, we like to share that. You know, it's an experience that anybody from around here should look into doing sometime, getting out and doing something a little bit different, you
I'm
know,
hoping to
and
get a
checking out another hunt.
Iowa buck here in the next couple of
Yeah, this guy's got an Iowa buck tag in his pocket.
It's good to know
You know,
people,
it's
isn't it?
good to
Yeah.
know somebody
Good to know
that knows
people in high
somebody.
places.
You
Yeah.
better take 3 or 4
You better
boxes
take
of
3 or 4
shells.
boxes of shells with you and they'll be ready to go. But guys, again, thank you all so much for everything that y'all do, all the time that you give to the show and helping us film shows and do things like we're doing today. But more importantly than anything, just giving back, you know, like we do to the outdoors.
It's a privilege.
So we appreciate
It's a privilege.
that. Guys, we're going to take another quick break and we'll be right back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Water.